What's happening there, guys, and welcome back to our channel. It can be very emotionally challenging to hear the words "you're fired." Even if you were giving your best, being thrown out of the job feels like being judged. If you did get fired for any genuine reason, well, that sense of failure is likely to be even more intense. But you are not alone in this. The wealthiest people in the world were also fired once in their lives. Here are the 5 stars who were fired from jobs. Number 5, Thomas Edison. If you don't remember Thomas Edison from your last history lesson, don't worry, we'll jog your memory. Thomas Edison invented the electric light bulb, the telegraph, and also an early motion picture camera. As famous for being an unscrupulous businessman as he was for being an inventor, Edison held more than 1,000 patents in his whole lifetime. In his childhood, he was that kind of guy who was once described by a childhood teacher as too stupid to learn anything, so he was educated at home. Edison started his first entrepreneurial venture at 12 by selling newspapers on the Grand Trunk Railroad. Then, after he established his newspapers and started selling to passengers in a train, his DIY lab and his baggage caught fire, and he was banned from selling newspapers on trains. He then continued to sell on other stations. Thomas Edison found a job in the Western Union, but then he was fired again. The reason was his juggling. He couldn't do night shifts because he had to do experiments. Edison's greatest failures, though, were the foundation of his success after he tried out 1,000 different designs before he decided on a working design for the electric light bulb. Number 4, Walt Disney. Before you think that your recent throw was an accurate assessment of your abilities, always make sure that you're in the same situation in which Walt Disney was once fired. And the reason for that was that he was not being creative enough. This was when Disney was in his early 20s. Walt Disney eventually started a business named Laugh-O-Gram Studios. Unfortunately, it went bankrupt in 1923. Disney had just moved to Hollywood with his brother Roy Disney and founded the Disney Brothers Cartoon Studio. He found success with his new character Mickey Mouse. In 1929, Disney made cartoons named Silly Symphonies, which featured other famous characters like Donald Duck and Minnie Mouse, as well as his most popular character Mickey. One cartoon in the series, Flowers and Trees, also won an Oscar. Later, Disney went on to create full-length animated feature films, starting with Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs in 1937. By the end of the 1950s, Walt became rich and he made his empire. Disney also included TV series like the Mickey Mouse Club and the biggest ever iconic theme park, Disneyland. Today, the Walt Disney Company's worth is a $59 billion business that includes theme parks, publishing, film, and television channels. Number 3, J.K. Rowling. The woman who invented Harry Potter once earned bread and butter as a secretary, but she lost her job for writing fiction on the company time. J.K. Rowling survived on charity. J.K. Rowling used to write in Edinburgh coffee houses. Her first book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, was sold for $4,000 in 1997. By 2000, the first 3 books in the Harry Potter series had sold 35 million copies in 35 languages and earned over $480 million worldwide. Number 2, Oprah Winfrey. Since Oprah Winfrey's critically acclaimed talk show debuted in 1986, the television host has become a household name. She's produced and acted in TV shows like The Women of Brewster Place and movies like Beloved, and started her own book club, media company, and television channel, the Oprah Winfrey Network. That is Oprah Winfrey. For some people, it's still a surprise she also faced a hard time in her career. That's right, guys, she was actually fired very early on in her career. A producer at Baltimore's WJZ-TV said to Winfrey, then an evening news reporter, that she's unfit for television news. Oprah Winfrey was also offered a consolation prize as host of the TV show People Are Talking, which was a daytime TV show that Winfrey initially saw as a dismissal. Until the show started again, she started her career in hosting. Number 1, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs started work with Steve Wozniak. Steve Jobs laid the foundation of Apple Computer in his garage in 1976. By 1980, Apple became a billion-dollar business and a publicly traded company. In 1984, Apple released the Macintosh, a series of computers meant to compete with Microsoft Windows. In 1985, with concerns about competition from cheaper Microsoft products, Apple kicked out its famous founder. Steve Jobs decided to leave Silicon Valley, but he changed his mind, so he stayed. He realized that he still loved his work. He then went on to found Pixar Animation Studios and Next, which were later retained by Apple. In 1997, Steve Jobs returned to his company as Apple CEO, developed the iPod, iPhone, and iPad. He revolutionized the way of work, play, and communication, and brought the company he founded and was fired from to unprecedented heights of profitability. The people who invented our favorite gadgets, created famous cartoons, and made the greatest impact on society. They lost their jobs before becoming the household names they are today. So never lose hope if you today are in trouble. There are plenty of other jobs you can do. Let us know of any other people we failed to mention in this video who got fired but found success anyway in the comments down below. And with that, I'll catch you guys later in another great video. Bye now.